Hey everybody, and welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy. I'm your host Lex.
I'm your other host Dan.
And
we are your weekly
video game news podcast.
Yeah, that's the thing I was gonna say. Yeah. We broadcast every Friday night, usually from 7 to 8 p.m. live. We're broadcasting a little bit early tonight because I got somewhere to be.
You got better things to do.
I got better things to do, talk about video games. But we're still going to do a full hour-long show. If you are interested, you can find us on Facebook, on iTunes, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Steam. We're Don't Copy That Floppy, all those places except for Twitter, where we are at DCTF Podcast. Got a whole bunch of news. Got some Kickstarter info.
Sort of a continuing update on an old story we did about a feud. We got
whole thing,
got a movie director announcing a game.
Yeah.
We got some
info on the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's Game Awards show that started last year. It was great.
We got Jeff Keighley in 2 different stories today.
He's all over the place.
He's everywhere.
He's a mystery man. We got a bunch of Nintendo news. Because
that Direct happened.
The first Nintendo Direct in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Which gave us some cool info. And then just some other little things. Talk a little bit about Fallout 4, because that came out.
It was a big deal. I don't know if you heard about it.
Talk a little bit about some other upcoming game releases, some little things. Talk a little bit about Tomonobu Itagaki getting sued. Guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh no!
I said it!
Get that soundboard up.
Oh, where is it? Where's the soundboard? Should I talk about it? That's how I feel about Tomonobu Itagaki. So let's start off by talking about Kickstarter. We got Friday the 13th, the game, which we talked about last week, has made its $700,000 goal with 5 hours to go.
If you're curious as to what Friday the 13th, the game is, you're an idiot. It's really self-explanatory.
It's really self-explanatory.
But the cool thing about it, cooler than probably the game itself, although the game itself does look interesting, but the cool thing about it is that it's like all of the people who originally worked on the first couple movies were working on this project, and also Adam Sessler is working on it. And Adam Sessler did his job because he did enough PR to get it funded. They have stretch goals like every $20,000.
Yeah, they have a ton. They have a ton that were not made. Like a lot. But they're mostly new, like, kill animations and things like that. A lot of them are not, like, super big deal things.
Wait, is it over? Does it have, like, a day left?
It's got 5 hours left.
Oh, it's over.
It's pretty much over.
But yeah, so
they might hit 800,000, but there's nothing at 800,000.
Which is weird, because there's like one every 25.
Until then,
and then it jumps to 875. Anyway, I'm happy about this. I was sort of skeptical as to whether it was going to get us funded or not, because I think up until 4 days ago, it hadn't gotten funded, or 5 days ago, maybe.
Yeah, so it scraped by, though.
Yeah, and what was also weird was, for the longest time, it was just hovering around, like 650, because it was at, like, 620 when we broadcasted last week. And then it just inched forward throughout the week so slowly. And then once it finally hit 7, then within the next couple days, it made almost an additional 100,000.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to seeing more of this game coming out. When's it supposed to be released? October 2016.
Gotta be October. Come on.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah. The other game we looked at last week that's being funded was on Indiegogo, not Kickstarter. And that is Indivisible, which is the action RPG from Lab Zero, the makers of Skullgirls. This game was creeping along towards its $1.5 million goal, and I guess it was doing well enough and still steadily enough that the developers decided to put in a request to Indiegogo to extend their deadline for 20 days. So, with that extension, they got 21 days left again. They're at 975,000 out of 1.5 million. So hopefully this is the second win they need to get this funded, because it looks like a really cool game. They've been revealing new characters regularly. that are going to be in it because there's tons of party members for the game. And they've also revealed a bunch of crossovers with other indie games now for party members. They're going to have Juan from Guacamelee. They're going to have Shovel Knight and a bunch of other people. They've shown a ton of them. You can find them all on the Indiegogo under the updates. And you can download the prototype of the game and play it if you want. It's really cool. So yeah, take a look at that, and hopefully it'll actually get fun. Let's see. Where to begin?
Talk about cookies first?
Let's talk about cookies. So Tomonobu Itagaki, everybody's favorite oatmeal cookie turned game developer, is being sued by movie studio Valhalla Motion Pictures because they claim that Itagaki's Valhalla Game Studios, under which he developed Devil's Third, the recently released and incredibly poorly received Wii U game Devil's Third.
The overwhelmingly panned Devil's Third.
Devil's Third. Valhalla Motion Pictures, who currently produces Walking Dead, says that he's infringing on their trademark, basically. And if you look at these little icons...
They compare both of the logos. They literally look like the same logo with slightly different font.
And
one of them is
color
one of them is black on white, the other one is white on black.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yep.
So Itagaki's being sued. He is going on trial today. He already went on trial. Because this article's from the 11th. He went on trial today, Friday, November 13th, in Los Angeles. And the court room was open to the public for $105 a ticket, and they're providing continental breakfast and lunch.
I love that they provide you with food! That's so great!
So maybe some lucky folks got to see Itagaki defend himself in court. Which I'd imagine was just like sitting with his feet up on the desk and his sunglasses.
Oh, because he wears a leather jacket all the time.
And sunglasses all the time.
Yeah.
And just not caring. That's what I imagine. And just calling everyone an asshole.
It's like, whatever, I stole their logo. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do
and
about
it?
And
they're like, sue you?
Like, bankrupt your company?
Yeah. It's funny, actually. I saw a meme. Wait, do you have anything else to say about this?
The one other thing I want to say is that as far as Devil's Third goes, Itagaki has been defending the game by saying that everyone who doesn't like it is not playing it well enough.
I think we did a story on that, didn't
we? A brief one, maybe, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about this article. Did you pull this up?
Oh, I didn't.
Because that's important.
But I will.
Anyway, but what I have to say is I saw this meme the other day on Facebook about the portrayals of women in video games, and it just shows... what's her name? The girl who wears a bikini in Phantom Pain, and the oh god, what's it? I'm forgetting everybody's name today.
Give me something to work with.
Give me
something to work
Drive
with.
Jacket.
Drive Jacket?
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima?
There we go. And that guy is like cartoon of the character and him sitting next to a computer screen, and he's just like, she breathes through her skin. And then like another scantily clad female character, and there's like the developer giving some ridiculous reason, and then one of the Dead or Alive girls, and Itagaki's just like, I just like boobs.
He's honest.
And the meme is like, yeah, at least Itagaki's honest.
The guy who develops Senran Kagura, too. The game about ninjas who fight until each other's clothes fall off.
Yeah. And
you can ask that guy, and repeatedly on Twitter, he's just said, I just want to make games with hot girls in them. Yeah. That's all he wants. It's like, everybody likes boobs and butts. Why not? The honesty is appreciated. So...
The cutest thing ever? Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, we got to talk about this. I don't know where else to fit this in, so we'll just talk about it now. So, Yooka-Laylee is the Banjo-Kazooie-like game funded on Kickstarter by remnants of Rareware. And they announced a new character for it called Rextro64us, who is a dinosaur made to look like an old... like N64 era polygon character, and he looks great.
Delightful.
He even has you can see it better in this picture, he even has a shader on him to make it look like he's being projected on a CRT television. It's super good. And I guess he's just like an NPC in the game who is the guardian of these old arcade machines that are in each level that you do something with. It's just really cool, and it's nice because it harkens back to the origins of Banjo-Kazooie in this game, where it started on N64, and Rare did a ton of their best work on N64, so that's good. I have high hopes for Yooka-Laylee. I really looking forward to it. What other little things do we got? Nothing really little. So let's get right in. We want to talk about the Game Awards, and we want to talk about Fallout 4. What are we going to talk about?
Let's talk about Fallout 4.
Let's talk about Fallout 4.
Unless you were living under a rock.
Or in a vault.
So you probably noticed Fallout 4 just came out recently.
It did.
And everybody was pretty excited.
Everyone's really excited. They shipped 12 million copies, Bethesda did.
In one day.
Representing sales in excess of $750 million.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing.
So I had seen a story from a couple days ago about how they were the top of the Steam charts.
Yes.
And they were beating out first weekend sales from stuff like GTA 5.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact numbers. I think it was in the... over 470,000 concurrent players.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a lot. And the Fallout Pip-Boy app was the #1 game on the iTunes App Store. It's pretty crazy.
Because you got to be able to manage your Pip-Boy in the real world so that when you go into Fallouts...
you can manage it again.
Yeah, it's all managed for you.
It's all managed.
So you have more time to shoot giant mutant rats.
Yeah. In slow motion. The game's been getting good reviews. I am kind of sad to hear that pretty much all of the glitches and issues we've come to know and love with Bethesda's games are still present in this. It's kind of getting annoying.
Yeah, there was...
They aren't fixing any of the problems with the engine they're making these games on at all.
And
they could!
Yeah, and this game got released sooner. It didn't get delayed, and it was announced so that it would be released quickly.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just friggin' delay it until the holidays.
Fix these bugs.
And fix the bugs.
Because there's a lot of glitches.
People would have totally waited another month.
Yeah.
They would have been fine with that.
I mean, but they've done this with... This happened with Skyrim, this happened with Oblivion, this happened with Fallout New Vegas, this happened with Fallout 3. They just... It's my biggest gripe with Bethesda as a developer. And I think it's my biggest problem when people praise them super intensely, is they make good games, but they could be making phenomenal games if they bug tested them more and put a little more polish on them.
I was reading something about how bugs were really prevalent on consoles, but on PC they were almost non-existent.
PC's much better.
Yeah.
It still has issues, but it's much better.
Just another reason why PC Master Race.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
So, it's cool. Sure, it's great. I don't know if I'm going to play it anytime soon. I don't know how much interest I have in picking it up.
I mean, my computer can't run it, so I'm not playing it.
I think my computer could run it.
It probably can.
Yeah. I gotta play Final Fantasy 14 now. Who's gonna play all this MMO if I'm playing Fallout 4? I made this horrible mistake. I need to live with it. So yeah, good for you, Bethesda. And it's already been nominated for goddamn everything at the Game Awards.
Oh yeah.
So, talk about J.J. Abrams.
You like Star Wars? You like Star Trek? You like Lost? Okay, you probably don't like Lost.
You might have liked Lost at first.
Yeah, you probably like Lost.
Then you're gonna love Spy Jinx.
So J.J. Abrams has partnered with a video game studio that I'm now blanking on the name of, but
Star Wars. He's Epic Games subsidiary Chair
Entertainment.
Chair Epic Games subsidiary Chair Entertainment, who made Infinity Blade and Shadow Complex. They're working together on a 2016 released game for the PC and mobile devices.
They're making it in the Unity engine, which is one of the things they talk about why it's going to be a multi-platform. Because they're like, this engine gives us so much flexibility. There's a video on it where Jeff Keighley. Whatever. where the Dorito Pope interviews them. I use him by his true name.
Address him by his true one name.
Where he interviews them about the project.
Yes.
And tries to ask them what the game is and what it will be about, and they give him almost zero information.
It's a unique mix of action strategy gameplay, dynamic world building, and RPG character development. So it's a video game.
They went on to say that you really just got to experience it, because when it comes out, nobody's going to be like, oh, it's like this game. It's going to be its own thing.
I doubt that.
I seriously doubt that. But it's funny because this is the kind of stuff that you will occasionally hear from game PR people, but usually they're more straightforward than this.
Game PR people or Peter Molyneux.
But this is the kind of stuff you hear all the time from movie people. So it's totally what I expected from J.J. Abrams.
Unlike any movie you've ever seen. I doubt that. I seriously doubt that.
And I would actually advise you, even though the Dorito Pope is in it, and J.J. Abrams is in it, and some other guy with glasses is in it, don't watch the video. It's like a 5-minute video, and
I didn't watch it.
It's just this, the head of Chair Entertainment and J.J. Abrams just, like, jerking each other off for 5 minutes. Because J.J. Abrams is just like, oh my god, I loved Infinity Blade so much, it just blew my mind, which is why I had to work with the studio. And the guy's like, oh, J.J. Abrams, your movies are just so amazing.
I can't wait to watch Star Wars. Oh, kiss my mouth.
Yeah, and we've learned so much from each other, is something they say like 2 or 3 times.
Are their hands in each other's pockets, back pockets, the whole video?
There are a few frames where I'm sure they are. And then they talk about how, like, it's really a collaborative effort. It's not like one of them came to the other and wanted to do like a movie tie-in, or the other one wanted
Their eyes just met from across the room, and they walked over to one another like, you could make a beautiful video game together.
And the fact that in the video...
No one puts Chair Entertainment in a corner.
But also the fact that since they give zero details about the game, you could just read the article synopsis, like you're going to get just as much info. So, Spyjinx, terrible name, but my interest is still sort of piqued. I'm curious as to what they'll do.
Since we talked about Jeff Keighley just now, why don't we talk about Game Awards?
Alright.
Brought Jeff Keighley. So the Game Awards, the big game awards show that Jeff Keighley put together last year, is returning this year, thankfully, because we really liked it last year. On December 3rd at 6 p.m. Pacific time, Keighley, in an interview with the New York Times, said that he expects, this is from an article on Polygon from the 10th, by the way, he expects 4,000 people to attend, up from the 3,000 or so who did last year. The show will be held in Los Angeles at the Microsoft Theater. Last year's show in Las Vegas was not a sellout, though Keighley touted other strong viewership numbers shortly after it ended. There won't be any TV broadcast again. Streamed via Twitch, YouTube, PSN, and Xbox Live. Had 1.93 million viewers, 75% increase over the 2013 finale to the Spike Awards. And Keighley said he used $1 million of his own savings to finance the first show, and that even with strong industry sponsorship, he lost a little bit of money still. So they got a whole bunch of people on an advisory board this year. Hideo Kojima,
Drive Jacket
himself is on the advisory board. They're not involved in voting on nominees or winners, which doesn't, nor does their inclusion mean any of its members will also appear on the show. The nominations and voting are handled by a panel of 35 people, drawn from publications covering the game industry. We had to prove... So, Keighley's hoping now that this show will have a slightly shorter runtime than last year, because last year it was really long. And then hopefully there will be a better industry turnout, because there's more word ahead of time this time about it.
I mean, one of my only gripes with last year's show is they had a lot of technical difficulties throughout the show, and that ran up the runtime a bit.
He says right here at the end that they made that show, they put that show together in 3 months. So a lot of development teams weren't ready to really show up and show things, but that could also have an effect on the technical difficulty side of things. Like, they didn't have enough time to prepare and rehearse and make sure everything was working the way it should. So we'll see this year if it's stronger in that department. But more interestingly, we have the list of nominees.
Yeah.
And we went over this last year, so I figured we'd do that again. First, but definitely not least, the Game of the Year nominees are Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker. This is the Dark Horse.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
And Witcher 3. So,
expected, yeah.
Bloodborne, Fallout, Metal Gear, Witcher 3, surprising literally nobody to be on there. Mario Maker, little surprising. I guess I get why it's there, because it's a big release by Nintendo, it's a robust game, it's pretty unique, and people have really taken to it. So it's nice to see something that's kind of different there. It's not just like the big blockbuster AAA game. I'm firmly in Bloodborne's court, but I don't think it's going to win. I'm guessing Fallout or Witcher 3 are going to win.
You know, Fallout, I think, is going to get a huge advantage because it just came out. Like Oscar bait movies that come out right before the Oscars. Yeah. It's going to be just like that.
Yeah. When Fallout played that mentally handicapped football player.
I didn't think Julia Roberts could do a role like that, but she knocked it out of the park.
What do you have a feel for that? I would guess Witcher 3. Would be your preference.
I mean, I think that Fallout 4 is likely to be there. It's not necessarily the game that I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
I actually am more going with Phantom Pain.
Yeah? Even with all the issues? I mean, you haven't played it, right?
No.
Yeah. There's reasons why I'm not putting my ball in Phantom Pain's court.
It's more of the fact, just all the news that's been going on around it. I'm like, Kojima deserves that win. That's what I feel about it. Yeah. Yeah. And like Super Mario Maker, like, I don't care.
That's the thing.
I really don't care.
It's kind of cool to see it there, but I almost feel like it's not important enough to be there.
It almost seems like it's there because they're like, should a Nintendo game be on this list?
Yeah, that's all that Nintendo actually released this year.
And that seems like the wrong reason.
Yeah.
So, next we got...
Developer.
Hold on, I gotta read that.
We got Bethesda, duh.
Yeah.
CD Projekt, Red, duh. So we got the developers who made the Games of the Year Game of the Year nominees, like 1-to-1. From Software, Koji Pro, and Nintendo.
For indie games,
we got Axiom Verge.
Her Story.
Yeah, Her Story's on here a lot.
I have no idea what that is.
I watched a full playthrough of it. Actually, it's very interesting.
Okay.
I would hazard to call it a game. It's pretty far from a game. In a lot of ways. It's real good, though. It's very well done.
Well, for the other three, we've got some more notable titles. Yeah, Rocket League and Undertale. Undertale is on quite a few of these, actually. It's on a good 2 or 3 of them.
That's great. I would love it. I think that's great, too.
I think it's going to pick up some awards. I think it deserves to.
I've been playing through it with my fiancé, and we're about an hour and a half in, and we're really enjoying it. And we're probably going to continue to play and beat it at some point. But even with just what we've seen of it, it's fantastic. Like, it's super, super good. The writing is just so good. And lots of interesting ideas. So here's something last year I remember we had a problem with. They lumped mobile and handheld games into one category. Again.
Oh, they're doing it again.
Which I hate, because Fallout Shelter should not be on the same list as Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
No.
Those are not comparable titles. And it really irks me because I feel like Fallout Shelter's gonna win. Because of the waves it's made everywhere. But Fallout Shelter's not a better game than Monster Hunter 4.
It's not.
It's not!
It's like Fallout Shelter is a great free game.
It is.
That you can play on your phone.
But it's not Monster Hunter. Totally different league.
So for some of the other stuff, we've got Downwell, which I actually do not know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
Lara Croft Go, I wish I didn't know what that was. And Pac-Man 256.
Downwell looks like a little platformer, Metroid-y style platformer. It looks like Pac-Man 256. I'm assuming it's some sort of Pac-Man game.
I guess
Developed by Hipster Whale.
Oh, gross. But, yeah.
It's a fancy Pac-Man game.
Lara Croft To Go was just
levels.
like the really lame mobile game that Square put out to be like, hey, tide you over until the new Lara Croft game comes out. Don't forget, Lara Croft game is coming out.
Yeah. Next we got Best Narrative. Nominees are Her Story, on here again, Life is Strange, Tales from the Borderlands, Witcher 3, and Until Dawn.
I think I know what you want for this.
I want Until Dawn.
Yeah, you do.
I thought it was great. I thought it was super great.
I think that...
but I will say, Her Story, super interesting narrative, and really interestingly told. And I will also say Life is Strange, despite its failings, of which there are several, really good. The ending of Life is Strange was actually really strong, in my opinion. Well, one of them, because there's two endings. The true ending, the good quote-unquote ending, in my opinion, was really strong. Witcher 3, I don't really know much about the story, because I haven't played it yet. And Tales from the Borderlands, I've heard is very good, but I got nothing.
I feel like these are certainly all strong narrative games, but Until Dawn has that kind of versatility that you don't get in other games.
Yeah, it's got the versatility, and it plays those horror movie tropes so good. Like, it's perfect. It's perfectly constructed as, like, this homage to all things horror that it is.
For the next category, Best Art Direction, we got Batman Arkham Knight, we got Bloodborne, The Phantom Pain, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Witcher 3. Man, Witcher 3 is nominated for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I gotta go with Bloodborne on this one.
I would agree with you. I think the art direction on that game is amazing.
It's super good. Not to say that the others here are not great looking, but man, Bloodborne, it's got that spooky Victorian horror aesthetic I love so good.
And like, I almost want to say Ori and the Blind Forest because it's very pretty, but it's not actually something that I haven't already seen in some indie games.
That's the thing. Like, I've seen other indie games that look similar to it. I'm actually surprised Phantom Pain is on there, because it's a very pretty looking game, but from an art direction standpoint, I don't think it's particularly unique or interesting looking.
I mean, certainly not in comparison to a lot of the stuff on this list.
Yeah.
And Batman seems up there because they were like, well, I don't know, it was a AAA title.
I mean, the design of, like, Gotham City in that game is pretty cool. Best Performance. Ashley Birch as Chloe Price in Life is Strange. Camilla Luddington as Lara Croft in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Doug Cockle as Geralt in Witcher 3. Mark Hamill's Joker in Batman. Or Viva Sefer in Her Story. So, I gotta go with Her Story on this one, because...
Is that live action footage that I'm looking at? Okay.
Yes, because she's not just voice acting, she's just acting. And she's real good.
Okay.
In that. It's the idea of the game is you're watching fragments of police tapes.
Okay.
And you are trying to figure out what happened, essentially, without saying too much. And she's really good in it. All the tapes are of her. She's like the only character in the game who you see. And hear the voice of and stuff. So, some interesting ones up there. I think it's actually kind of interesting to see Geralt up there. Because he always struck me as just kind of the, like, his voice fits the character really well, but he always kind of struck me as, like, a gruff fantasy man.
Yeah,
it's not really, like, unique or impressive.
I guess there is depth to his... I mean, like, I played through Witcher 2. There's depth to his character, but it doesn't really seem like there is at first.
And from a voice performance standpoint, he's not particularly, like, varied or anything. He mostly just growls at people. Oh. The elves.
I don't know anything about the new Lara Croft game just because I haven't played it or seen anything of it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Ashley Birch.
She did a good job
most of the things she does. Yeah.
But I don't think she's as strong as maybe some of the
And then, like, Mark Hamill as the Joker, yeah, like, every time Mark Hamill is the Joker
Mark Hamill doesn't need to win that.
Thing. Anytime Mark Hamill is the Joker, everyone's like, oh my god, I just love it.
At this point, I feel like Mark Hamill would see this nomination and be like, again? Really?
Well, no, I think he does, because that's why he doesn't want to do the Joker voice
anymore. He's tired of it.
Yeah. He had a good run. It was in the 90s. Just let's move on and do something else.
Games for Change, which is a category they also had last year, which we thought was cool. So we have Sibel by Nina Freeman, which I don't know. Her story's up there. Life is Strange is up there. Sunset by Tale of Tales Games, which I also don't know, and Undertale.
What's the criteria for this category?
It's games that have, like, social messages or different types of protagonists that aren't usually seen. It's games that basically are taking social action in some form or another to, like, expand people's horizons and viewpoints.
Oh, #Gamergate.
#Gamergate. But it's cool. Because Undertale has a lot of that stuff in it, but it does it in a really interesting way.
It totally does, yeah.
So, like, it's things like that, I guess. Best Shooter, Bang Bang Bang, COD Blops 3, Destiny, the new one, Halo 5, again, Splatoon, and Star Wars Battlefront, which isn't released yet.
Which has been released yet.
Next week. It's gonna be Halo or Destiny. Maybe COD Blops, I guess. It depends on how tired people are of Halo or COD Blops.
Well, apparently COD Blops is making a resurgence.
Is it?
I was reading an article
maybe it'll
about
be COD
how
Blops 3?
their sales for Black Ops 3 are just, like, way up over their several of their previous installments. So people are more interested again, I guess.
And Best Action-Adventure Game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Batman Arkham Knight, MGS5, Ori and the Blind Forest, Rise of the Tomb Raider. If we're just going from the action standpoint, it's gotta be Metal Gear, because the gameplay in that is so good. Like, so good. For me, at least. I think probably Assassin's Creed is gonna take it, though. Or Tomb Raider.
Do people like Assassin's Creed Syndicate that much?
Yeah. It's been pretty well received. Okay. Maybe it won't be.
It seemed like people were like, oh, it's not horrible like Unity, but whatever.
I heard it's pretty good.
For the next category, Best Role-Playing Game, we have Bloodborne.
Why bother listening? Witcher 3's gonna win.
For Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, I like that song.
Witcher 3
and I like the Undertale song.
Yeah. I would love to see Pillars of Eternity win just because I love Obsidian. I love that it was a Kickstarter project that came together well.
Yeah.
And I love that it's the new version of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So,
but it's going to be Fallout or Witcher 3.
Totally. I mean, maybe my one argument for it might be in Pillars of Eternity or Undertale.
Yeah.
Is if a lot of those other games are AAA titles that already are up for a lot of stuff. Yeah. So if they win those bigger awards,
and Bloodborne is not a pure RPG. It's an action game.
Yeah,
it's like an action game with RPG elements.
But it was not one of the best action adventure games.
No, it should have been.
Should have been. But yeah, so I would maybe, but probably not.
Yeah. Best fighting game. Guilty Gear Xrd sign.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat X, Rise of Incarnates, and Rising Thunder.
I like how there's only 4 because they were like, I don't know.
Fighting games, what? What is Rise of Incarnates? Is that the one that's closing?
Yeah, didn't we do a story about Rise of Incarnates?
This is not going to even be around in a few months, and it's getting, like, mediocre reviews everywhere. So we can rule that one out. Rising Thunder is interesting because that game's not done.
So we can probably rule that one out.
That game's in, like, alpha.
Yeah, okay then. They really did not have options for fighting games.
No.
It's going to be Mortal Kombat.
It's going to be Mortal Kombat. I think it should be Guilty Gear.
It probably should be Guilty Gear, although Mortal Kombat X, very strong showing for the franchise.
Yes, absolutely. But I think Guilty Gear is just a better fighting game.
That's probably true. It's made by the Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Shouldn't there be like games. One of the 50 versions of Street Fighter up there?
Mortal Kombat X is literally just Western fighting game developers catching up with Japan.
Totally.
Like, that's the thing. Like, Japan has cornered the market on making good fighting games. Best family game.
Oh man, Disney Infinity 3.0, or Lego Dimensions, or
Skylanders Superchargers,
or Splatoon, or Super Mario Maker.
Should be Mario Maker.
No, again, I don't care about Mario Maker. It's not a game. It's a thing you use to make games.
But that's fun for the whole family.
I could see Splatoon. People love Splatoon, and it's certainly appropriate.
Yeah.
That's something that I totally think Nintendo deserves a win on. I actually hear really fun things about Lego Dimensions, but I don't really know.
No.
I don't play any of these games. I'm not a child.
Best sports racing game. Who cares?
No one cares. Moving on.
It should be Rocket League because it's the only one on this list that's vaguely interesting. or unique. Best multiplayer. It's gonna be COD Blobs.
Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Destiny: The Taken King,
Halo.
the Halo 5s.
Rocket League, and Splatoon.
So
It's gonna be COD Blobs.
it could be Destiny.
No, it might be Destiny.
I could see it being Destiny.
Most anticipated game. Very interesting category. Because I'm not really sure how one should rate these.
So we've got Horizon Zero Dawn. Which one was that again?
That's the one with the big robot dinosaurs.
I always forget the name of that one. Robot Dinosaur.
They should have just called it Horizon. That Zero Dawn subtitle is terrible.
It's weird.
It's awful.
It makes it sound like a Japanese studio.
It makes it sound really generic, too. It's because it's nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Doesn't
it's
mean
just what are two cool words? Zero and Dawn. Put them at the end. I mean, Horizon's just a cool word like that anyway.
Somebody at Bungie is like, we're going to name our next expansion that. For Destiny.
Destiny Zero Dawn.
I know, right?
Oh my god, it fits perfectly. They really should have called the game just like Robo Dino Adventureland or something.
Dawn of the Robot Dinosaurs. So also No Man's Sky, Quantum Break, The Last Guardian, Uncharted 4.
So I'm going to say right now, nobody's anticipating Quantum Break.
No, nobody cares about Quantum Break at all. Take that off the list.
Here's this. Okay, how about this idea, you guys? A shooter with time control mechanics.
But
never been done. 10 out of 10. Best game ever made.
But wait. We'll make people anticipate it more by never talking about it, showing no gameplay footage, and just pretending it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Except when we want to be like, hey guys, remember Quantum Break? That game's going to be the best.
It's E3. We're going to show you a little cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the episode.
Nobody cares about Quantum Break.
No one.
Horizon Zero Dawn looks cool, but I still feel like they haven't shown enough of it for me to really be that excited.
No, I know what the game is. It's No Man's Sky. The most anticipated game is No Man's Sky.
Last Guardian.
No, it's No Man's Sky.
It's probably
No Man's Sky was on the Late Show, alright?
Yeah.
It's No Man's Sky.
Esports Player of the Year. Or do you have more you want to say about that?
I was just going to say, Uncharted 4 is kind of cool, I guess, but it's not one of those games that...
It's the fourth game in a series.
I think it's because Uncharted 4, we know that it's going to come out.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, I have no idea when that's going to come out.
June 2016.
No, it's not. And Last Guardian, it's probably never going to come out.
Probably never.
So you actually anticipate them more, because they're so much more nebulous.
Esports Player of the Year and Esports Team of the Year. No idea how any of these people are, so
yeah,
I don't care. Esports Game of the Year, it's going to be League of Legends.
Yeah, maybe it'll be Dota 2, but ittle probably be League of Legends. Yeah, the other games on that list are Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, okay, that's a contender, and Hearthstone, which is also a contender, I'd say. But
Trending Gamer. This was on there last year. I believe Total Biscuit won.
Are you sure PewDiePie didn't win?
He didn't.
PewDiePie wins everything.
I talked about this with Corinne before recording, and I'm pretty sure we remembered that Total Biscuit actually won.
Good for him.
Because he couldn't be there. He did a video. Because he's got cancer.
Oh, yeah.
So he did a video because he couldn't be there to accept the award. So it's PewDiePie's time to shine. He'll take it this year.
Markiplier? Okay, so Greg Miller and Christopher...
Monte Cristo Mickles.
I don't know who either of those people are.
Me neither.
But I know
Markiplier.
I love Markiplier, and I would love him to win.
Don't like Markiplier's videos.
I love his voice, though.
He has a fantastic voice.
I wish he did audiobooks. I would listen to those audiobooks all day.
My conundrum with Markiplier and PewDiePie, love the guys, hate their videos.
They're a little boring.
Or they're just kind of obnoxious.
The thing that I like about Markiplier is I see him, he also
Markiplier does have a fantastic voice, though.
He does have a fantastic voice. And he will also be in, little web shorts a lot.
Yeah.
And so he
acts...
that's
why I like him.
Yeah, so he'll, act and stuff, and when he does that, it's great. So I watch him primarily when he appears in other stuff.
Yeah, I don't watch him on... Same here. I don't watch him on his own channel. I watch him when he's in other stuff.
Yeah.
Like when he's on Game Grumps sometimes.
Yeah,
I watch those, and he's great. It's great.
But I'm going for Markiplier. I want Markiplier to win.
I could go with Markiplier or PewDiePie. I think PewDiePie's probably gonna win because he didn't last year.
So yeah, he is the king of the internet.
He's the king of the internet. Best fan creation. I don't know what 4 of these are. GTA 5 Targets, Real GTA, Portal Stories Mel, Super Mario Maker e-reader levels, and Twitch Plays Dark Souls. Twitch Plays Dark Souls is the only one I know about, and I don't think it should win.
It should.
Because they cheated.
They should have Twitch Plays Pokemon on there. Or is that too old?
That's too old at this point.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Because Twitch Plays Pokemon
Was
deserves
legit.
to win.
Yeah.
Twitch Plays Dark Souls, no,
Fish
that
Plays
was...
Pokemon.
Yeah, that's also legit. But Twitch Plays Dark Souls, they were cheating. They should be disqualified.
Yeah, disqualified.
Mario Maker. I don't care about Mario Maker. Take it off these lists.
You do. Yeah, you care.
I mean, at least
care a little bit.
At least on this list, it makes sense to have Mario Maker because it's a game in which you make game content, and this is a category for created game content.
Yes.
But I don't know. Yeah, the GTA stuff. I don't know what either of those are. So
yeah. Well, that's it. We got all those categories. They got 22 categories. There's all your nominees. Look forward to it, December 3rd.
Was there a fan choice categories? Oh, those were the best. Those were like most anticipated game in the esports team of the year. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. Because there's a lot to talk about. So Nintendo Direct happened yesterday. First one they've had in months, since Satoru Iwata passed. Lots of speculation leading up to this of what they were going to show, what they were going to talk about,
and who was going
to be in it, who was going to host it. It was hosted by Reggie and the guy who I can never remember the name of, who's been doing it a lot lately too.
Reggie's right-hand man.
Reggie's right-hand man.
Because he's also from Nintendo of America.
Yes. The new president of Nintendo did not make an appearance.
See, I was so hoping, because he seemed like such a stern, serious guy, and I was really hoping that he'd make an appearance and prove to us that he's actually really goofy. But I guess he actually is just like a businessman.
He didn't, which might be what they need right now.
Yeah.
So who knows? So there were a number of things talked about on this Direct, including release dates for a few exciting things. And we got a little article here of like 5 big things we learned from the Nintendo Direct from today. I mean, the top of the list would be the new character being added to Super Smash Bros., which is Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my gosh, do you like nostalgia? Because I do.
Sure. This actually genuinely surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke when I first heard it.
I didn't see. I watched the whole thing blind, so they got to that last thing of like Super Smash Brothers. So like, oh, are they announcing a new character? Cool. And then it said Super Smash Brothers X Final Fantasy VII, and I was like, what? And then Cloud showed up, and I was like, this is ridiculous. This is bullshit. They're making this up. Like, it's cool, though. I'm excited because they're adding a new character to the game who's not just a clone of an existing character, like they've been doing with, like, Roy and Lucas and that stuff. I mean, I know they added Ryu, but...
And since it's a different property, people are gonna be into it because of that. They still need to bring back Snake. That's what I think.
Bring back Snake.
Oh
he was so much fun to play as in Brawl.
Hashtag bring back Snake.
Hashtag bring back Snake.
But no, I think Cloud is cool. I think
hashtag what's in the box.
I think it's silly because it just seems silly to have Cloud fighting like Kirby, but that's always what Super Smash has been.
And now Kirby can get Cloud powers.
That's true. Kirby will have a sword that's like Kirby. 20 times as big as he is.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Great.
But his the mechanics for his gameplay look cool. Like he can charge up energy to do limit breaks, that power up his special moves and stuff like that. He looks really interesting. And more importantly, we're getting Final Fantasy VII music for the game, which is really cool. And a Midgar stage that looks awesome because periodically the summons from FF7 will show up and do things to the stage. Like Odin cuts it in half, Ifrit like blasts fire up under one side and tilts it, Bahamut will shoot a big laser across it. Like, it's really neat. So... The thing, I think the stage, to me, was more exciting than the character reveal. I just think it looks like a really neat stage. So that's great. They also said at the end of the Direct, next month, in December, there's going to be a Super Smash Bros. Centric Direct. Which I believe... excuse me. Which I believe means they are going to be announcing the results of the character poll for characters people wanted added to the game. And we're going to see which of those characters actually gets made.
Hashtag bring back Snake.
Hashtag Wonder Red. If Wonder Red gets into the game, I'll buy another copy.
They need those sales. You should.
They should, yeah. So that'll be exciting to see what characters are in like probably the top 5 and who's going to get added into the game from here on out. You know what we always needed? We always needed a girl version of Link.
Yeah, because gender bending is all the rage.
It's all the rage. Everybody loves it. So Hyrule Warriors is getting a female Link named Winkle.
Winkle?
Couldn't they have called her like Linka?
That's all. Yeah, that's all they need to
or
do.
Literally anything but Linkle.
Or just Link. Link is not really gender specific.
Linkette. I think Linka sounds nice.
I think
sounds
it does
Russian.
too. Yeah,
I like it.
But we can all agree on one thing. Linkle was the worst choice.
Linka was absolutely the worst choice. She's got crossbows, and you can kill guys with her in the game.
It's weird.
Doesn't seem like she's gonna have much character because she's just another character to play as. Like, Link doesn't have a lot of character anyway.
There's not a whole lot of depth to him.
Yeah, so that's neat. I guess they're doing it because there's been a lot of demand for female playable characters in Nintendo titles. Clearly.
It seems a little weak sauce that they're like, instead of making a brand new female character, we're just going to make a girl version of a male character. I like her design. It is good.
It's a good design. But yeah, it is. But they made an original female character for Hyrule Warriors already too.
Yeah,
and she's stupid.
Well, that's true.
And doesn't fit the aesthetic of the series at all. So I appreciate this because now we have one who actually gets in. Mm-hmm. And you could play as Zelda and Rudo and other female characters in that as well, and Impa. Star Fox Zero got that release date.
That sweet release date.
And they got a cool little trailer for it too. It looks great. They still have the little bobbly heads in the chat boxes. They just go like rah, 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 rah. And they introduced Slippy and everyone booed.
So it's going to be April 22nd of 2016.
Yep. They went into more detail on how the different vehicles are going to work too.
Cool.
They showed them off a little bit more. The Landmaster tank can fly a little bit now. It has a weird hover mode that lets it zip around, and it can shoot homing missiles and stuff. So that's really cool. I am excited for Star Fox Zero. I want to see more of it. It looks neat. And they explained a little more how the gamepad control is going to work. You see the third-person view of the ship on the screen, and then on the gamepad you have the cockpit view.
Yeah, we knew that.
But the way it works is you use your controls to move the ship like you normally would in Star Fox, but the gamepad can be tilted with the gyro to give you a finer control of where you're aiming. So you can be flying sideways, and you can actually angle the gamepad so you can shoot in different directions other than just straight ahead of you.
That's a cool idea.
It's a really neat idea, and it looks like the game is going to focus on putting you in more of Star Fox 64-styled all-range mode areas, where you are actually going in full 3 dimensions, not just on a track.
Going all-range mode.
Yeah. The wings fold out.
Yep.
There's going to be more stuff like that, which means that control option will be, super useful and probably used a lot in the game. So that's exciting. I like that. Announcements about Dragon Quest.
3DS remakes of Dragon Quest 7 and 8 are coming to the West.
Which are allegedly the best entries in the long-running role-playing.
It's funny, didn't I tell you I started playing 7 recently? Because I found a fan translation.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good, so yeah.
They're already out in Japan, and they were initially slated to only be released if the upcoming Dragon Quest heroes performed well, but I guess now we're just getting them. So that's cool. And Twilight Princess is getting an HD remake for the Wii U.
Nice.
Which is also neat. And apparently, they're doing a new amiibo figure of Wolfform Link with Midna. And apparently that amiibo will be compatible not only with this, but with the new Zelda game as well.
Nice.
And if you have save data from this game, that will also do something with the new Zelda game.
But will it be compatible with Hyrule Warriors?
Probably.
Will there be a Linkle amiibo?
Probably.
There probably will be, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I would be surprised if there wasn't.
Will
we get a Cloud Strife amiibo? Probably. I want Shovel Knight to be announced for Smash next month.
Didn't they announce a golden Mega Man?
Yeah, they announced the golden Mega Man. I can't remember what they said was special about it though. it comes in a collector's edition of something. Of like a Mega Man collection. Because they're releasing that new Mega Man collection as well. That they talked a little bit about. They're releasing some new, like, free-to-start games, like Pokemon Picross on the Nintendo eShop and stuff. And they definitely talked about a couple other things. They talked a little bit about, like, Yokai Watch and stuff.
They didn't say anything about Pokemon Go, right?
No, they did not.
I think it's still a little too early for them to talk about it, but...
Yeah. So yeah, they talked about a lot of stuff. We've got another one next month, talking about Smash Brothers. So it seems like they're going to go back to their kind of monthly regular thing for it. And they talked a little bit about Xenoblade Chronicles X, because that's coming out next month. So, that's exciting. Started playing a MMO again, just in time for a giant JRPG to come out.
You fool.
I know. It's the worst.
Oh, they announced that they were having this direct, like, very soon before the direct.
Oh, yeah, only a few days.
Yeah, it's like gave us almost no heads up.
Yeah. I thought that was weird. Let's see. I got a little story. Konami, in their ongoing efforts to get as far away from making video games as they possibly can, are apparently working on making a working prosthetic for a Metal Gear Solid fan.
And it looks like Big Boss's prosthetic
it's gonna look like Big Boss's robotic prosthetic in the game.
And it will function like that, too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're trying to make... they're making him a leg as well.
Oh.
Because he lost an arm and a leg in a... What did it say he lost it? He's a what did it say? It totally says in this. I just saw it. He lost his arm and leg in a train accident.
Ooh.
That's an uncommon type of accident.
Yeah.
I feel like. The person is named James Young. And he's a 25-year-old British kid, who was a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, and now he's going to get Metal Gear Solid prosthetic limbs, and it's going to be super cool.
You know what this weirdly reminds me of?
What?
This Star Wars screening they did for the guy who had cancer.
Yeah, didn't he pass away?
He did pass away, like very shortly
after
after
the movie.
screening.
Yeah. That's actually like the plot of that movie, Fanboys. It came out several years ago. It's about them trying to see episode 1 of Star Wars before it's in theaters because one of them is dying of cancer. That's like literally the plot of the movie. It was bizarre.
Oh, they must have been so disappointed.
Well, that's the best part of the movie because only the kid, spoilers for Fanboys, I guess, only the guy with cancer gets to see it ahead of time. They break into Skywalker Ranch to try and see it. And then the movie ends with a flash forward to the rest of them going to see it in theaters. And this movie came out after episode 1, obviously, so we all know it's terrible.
Yeah.
And the movie ends with them all sitting down in the theater, really excited, and they're about to watch it. And then the last line of the movie is, "Hey, you guys, what if it sucks?" It's the perfect little ending.
But no, so this is it's always good to see these companies sort of giving back to their fans, doing this sort of work. I mean, it makes for a really great PR, which Konami desperately needs. But when you think about it, like, they're making a prosthetic, or technically 2 prosthetics for one guy. Is this having a huge impact? Not really.
No, it's like a PR move.
Yeah.
But it's neat.
I'm glad that someone in Konami's PR department has a brain.
Maybe nobody else who needs prosthetic limbs is that big of a Metal Gear fan.
Probably not. Because it's not a huge game franchise or anything. We can mention this quickly because there's
not a whole lot to say.
So we did a story a while back about YouTuber Jim Sterling, who will comment on video games very harshly and sort of dresses like a fascist, which is weird. Really weird. He's not.
He's an interesting character.
He's just an opinionated guy, but he dresses a little strange.
He's an interesting fellow.
But he had a feud with Digital Homicide, a game developer
of Slaughtering Grounds. An amazing video game.
And by amazing, we mean horrible.
Absolutely terrible. They had a feud because Jim Sterling said it was terrible.
And I guess other people didn't say it was terrible because no one else really knew about it.
Yeah.
And then when Jim Sterling said it was terrible, it got all of these negative reviews on Steam. I think it was on Early Access.
Because more people went and tried it out.
Yeah.
They were just like, wow, this is awful.
Yeah, because it is awful. It's
Yeah.
really bad. And Digital Homicide was not happy about that. They got into a sort of a internet war with Sterling. They apparently, and I think this was after we did our story, or maybe it was before and we didn't know to report on it, but they did a podcast together where a dude from Digital Homicide had a conversation with Jim Sterling, and I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but the reporting I've read on it was that it was just super awkward and they resolved nothing and were just mad at each other the whole time. So the latest,
could have seen that coming.
Yeah, so the latest installment in this ongoing saga is apparently the guys from Digital Homicide started like a blog or some sort of Tumblr or something, and were posting images doxing Jim Sterling. So they posted maps showing where he lived and posted photos of the front of his house, including one that they claimed to be him like answering his front door or like going to get mail or something.
Yeah.
And Jim Sterling responded by basically, do you want to read some of it? It's pretty good.
I will quote him. This is, of course, a very thinly veiled threat. The line about indie developers finding me makes that quite abundantly clear. Maybe one of these cowardly fucks can actually make good on the legal threats they're always promising, or better yet, actually come knocking right on my front door. I'm clearly easy to find, and I'd love to have a nice face-to-face chat. Something tells me I'll never actually see the face of one of these craven little shits, though. And he goes on.
So he's not gonna back down.
No,
which, considering
clearly.
he hasn't yet, no, he wasn't gonna.
No, and clearly they're not gonna do anything. They're just being jerks and trying to freak him out. So,
maybe at some point they'll swat him, and then he'll just probably get more angry.
Yeah, and then he'll tell everyone that they're the ones who swatted him, and they'll all get arrested.
That would be grounds for arrest.
He knows who it is that's doing this.
It's pretty well documented on the internet at this point.
That's the thing, like...
And I also just, guys at Digital Homicide, you're putting so much effort into messing with this dude that you could be putting into making your games not horrible.
Why don't you make a good video game?
You clearly have the time and the drive to do something.
Yeah.
So, maybe work on your games and make them not suck. We can
make something decent.
That story. I just want to talk about this.
Okay. This one's not worth it either.
So,
oh boy.
Our last big story, which is more of a rumor.
Hashtag Gamergate.
Hashtag Gamergate. They apparently, an embattled former Sony chairperson,
Amy Pascal,
is looking to produce a movie about Gamergate.
That's going to be the worst.
It's going to be real bad.
That's the worst idea.
And they've been sending out feelers to people in Hollywood to try and cast Zoe Quinn. And one of the people who is reportedly interested is Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my god.
All of this is ridiculous.
This is all ridiculous.
It seems like a joke article, but it's from The Verge, they do real news.
Yeah.
They actually do some great gaming news. A lot of their...
Oh, dude. Yeah, we've done a bunch of stories from them.
They've done some really good convention coverage in the past.
But Johansson's only one of several actresses.
Well, that's usually how movie casting works. Yeah, is they send out feelers to a bunch of different people. But, Scarlett... okay, there's two parts to the story. One is the fact that the movie is going to exist. Period.
Yeah.
And then one is the fact that Scarlett Johansson might be playing Zoe Quinn in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you know what Zoe Quinn looks like, but she looks nothing like Scarlett Johansson. Let's put that right out there.
I don't remember exactly what she looks like, but I would imagine she doesn't look exactly like Scarlett Johansson.
That's not a slight on her.
But it's just
she just doesn't look like her.
It's not correct casting.
Also, Scarlett Johansson is a mom. And Zoe Quinn, at least when this controversy happened, late teens, early 20s?
I think so,
It's a very young character for Johansson to be playing. So that's weird. It's so weird. And then I guess we could talk about the fact that the movie is going to exist in general. No, don't do that.
Look forward to our review of... The
Gamergate.
Zoe Quinn Gamergate movie. Is it just going to be called Gamergate?
I assume so.
That's horribly vomit-inducing. That's just bad.
It's going to. It's going to be. It's going to be really bad. There's no way they're going to be able to get that right because Gamergate. If there's one thing we've learned,
so stupid.
It's stupid, but if there's one thing we've learned about it, it's actually kind of complicated. And by kind of,
I
mean
really
complicated.
It's so complicated that no one should even bother.
Yeah, it's the idea of Hollywood trying to tackle subject matter like that.
There's no way in
hell
anybody who's involved in this project is going to know a damn thing about it.
Well, I mean, at least it's a former Sony executive, so she might know a tiny bit about it, but I still don't expect her to understand most of the points going on.
And there's so many sides to it that there's not going to be representation of all the sides of it either. It's like, there's so much going on that you can't possibly represent it properly from one viewpoint.
And all it's going to do is make people angry.
Yep.
Because
it's going to make everybody angry.
Because somebody's not going to be represented and they're going to blow up on the internet about it.
Yeah.
There's going to be
and just all the jerk people are just going to do big crap about it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen either way, probably.
Yeah.
There's going to be a real documentary on Gamergate, though.
Oh, yeah? We're running out of time.
I can't remember. I'm going to have to look this up for later.
Yeah, it's posted on Facebook or something. Upcoming video game releases. Episode 6 of Game of Thrones by Telltale. Great. Star Wars Battlefront. Cool. There's a JRPG called Stella Glow that's supposed to be pretty alright. Assassin's Creed Syndicate on PC. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Oh,
Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, excuse me.
Yeah.
And Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
I do always love a good Mario Tennis.
And that's that. Not a whole lot else. So yeah, we've been Don't Copy That Floppy, your weekly video game news podcast.
I've been your host, Lex.
I'm Dan.
You can find us on all sorts of social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Don't forget about iTunes.
iTunes.
How could you forget Steam?
Steam.
Yeah.
I really need to just write those down.
Yeah. You've been having trouble with it lately.
I don't know. Sometimes we get to the end of the show and I'm just done.
Yeah.
Just done.
We broadcast... I'm just tired anyway today. We broadcast every week, Fridays, usually 7 to 8. Once again, we did a little early this week. If you want to listen to old shows, you can catch us on our archive at on iTunes and at chipbit.net. You also just go to chipbit.net, check out Chipbit Radio. They play chiptune music most of the time. It's usually not us. So yeah, we will be back next week with more video game news. And until then, remember,
don't copy that floppy.
Remember,
don't copy that floppy.